Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 2, verse number 46. A profound insight is being given into the purpose of life and the goal to be reached, and what are the characteristics of attaining that goal, or what are the characteristics of one who has attained the goal. All this is the highlight in this particular chapter. 46th verse. Yava nartha udapane sarvatah samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. For the knower of Brahman, the karma portion of the Vedas serve as much purpose as a small reservoir of water when there is flood everywhere. For understanding the goal of life, this point is highlighted in all the scriptures of India. We have two types of goal before you. I always give the illustration of the sun up there, and all the illuminations created by the sun on the earth. And you have the choice to choose between all the illuminations and the sun. Somehow the mind has become a little twisted. It doesn't see they are just the same. What's up there, the same is shining everywhere. So there is non-duality. There is no duality. You are not choosing between the two. But if that has not developed in the mind, if mind is limited, then you are always making a choice. Should I be here, enjoying variations of sunshine? And that is a tremendous world of lots of variation. Or should I be up there, burnt up with the sun? Again, the statement, should I, that I itself is not your reality. However, simple point, if you have the insight into how to be the sun, how to abide in the sun, become one with the sun, or how to stay moving from one rainbow to another, a better one, more shining one, or sometimes dropping into a dewdrop and gleaming through it. That's your predicament. You can be as little as a gleaming dewdrop, as glorious as a shining rainbow, or even the shimmering ocean. Nevertheless, all that you can be is called little, alpam. All that you expect through your mind, based on your intellect and ego, all that you expect is little. Enlightenment is a process of inward self-effacement. So when we come to the understanding of karma, because the focus is on how should a person act, what should be the attitude towards karma. Karma implies thought, word, and deed. How should you think? How should you speak? And what should be the project in your day-to-day life? All the three are interrelated. First point, that your goal should not be what I have described as little. Your goal should be liberation. But turning your attention to the general predicament of the masses. The general predicament is that everyone follows a simple plan of what is considered righteousness, or if that awareness of righteousness has not developed, what I am trying to lead you to understand is Bhava Chakra, the wheel of the world process, which implies you do virtuous deeds. Virtuous deeds give you pleasant situations. Pleasant situations create in your mind raga, attachment. So virtue, pleasure, attachment. Now, to stay virtuous, that again is not secure. We live in a world where virtue and vice mix. You want to help a person. In so doing, sometimes you step on somebody's toes. I'm just giving a simple way to understand. Every good deed you do, there are some little possibilities of negative deeds. Everything in the world is limited. And also, what is limited is your concept of doing the good deed. You may think you are doing good, but it may not be as good as you thought. This being so, the simple formula is whatever may be your quality of good deed, your good deed will bring to you pleasant condition for yourself. Not immediately, but in the karmic fruit. As karma gives you the result. Pleasant condition does not enlighten a person. It makes a person simply wish, may I have perpetual pleasant condition. And the memories of the pleasant condition, the impressions gather in your unconscious. They're called raga. So, punya karma, good karmas, virtuous karmas, I'm just giving synonyms. Virtuous karmas giving rise to pleasant conditions giving rise to attachment. On the other hand, if you slip from the virtuous karma, because there is no guarantee you will not slip, there is no enlightenment here. So a negative karma will bring painful situation. A painful situation will create in your mind dislike, hatred. May I get away from this forever. So virtue, pleasure, attachment, vice, pain, and dislike. These six go to form the wheel of the world process, which implies the soul continues to follow this process of experience from life to life. As long as you are caught in this wheel, you are going after alpam. Alpam means little. That should not be the real purpose. You are not really aware of what your goal is. If you are following, again at this stage, you have two choices. You may follow the path of adharma, unrighteous movement. If you are following the unrighteous, a lot of vicious deeds, negative karmas bring you painful situations. Painful situations go on creating more and more hatred in your heart. If you continue with that, you are heading towards what generally people say, hell. That's called yatana marg, the path that will give you a lot of suffering. Virtuous karmas, if you continue doing that, you are much better. But you are led by, later Gita explains, by the path known as southern path. In this path you are led to increasing delusion. At the very time of death, the mind is clouded. The description is you are being guided by the deity of smoke, the deity of the fortnight where the moon goes on waning until the moon is extinct, implying your heart goes on contracting, your good feeling goes on diminishing, your consciousness goes on contracting. That's the movement towards hell. And also you must remember, hell and heaven are mixed up. Everyone, you don't have to wait for the end of life. In life, pleasant conditions come. You are experiencing the result of good karma. But as well, unexpectedly, painful conditions come. You are experiencing the result of negative karma. This point I have made it clear before, that already in life there is heaven and hell. Why do the people talk about after death experiencing heaven and hell? There's a big difference. In life, if you experience a lot of joy, there's a limit. Your nervous system limits it. Beyond a certain limit, if you hear very good news, your heart may fail. Even to give a good news, good relatives go to the person, make the person relax, and then gradually open up the subject, either for good news or for bad news. What I'm relating to you is that as long as you are alive, you cannot handle intense pleasure, nor can you handle intense pain, because your experience is based on your nervous system. The nervous system limits it. But when you, after death, your experience is not based on body, physical body, or nervous system. Is based on a dream-like experience. So therefore, when you suffer pain, pain is intense. When you experience pleasure, pleasure is intense. That intense pleasure, which is not controlled by the physical body, that's called heaven, Swarga. I'm not talking about the heaven that people know in most religions. I'm talking about the relative heaven. And the experience of intense suffering is hell. So in normal life, heaven and hell are always there. In the morning you may be in the heaven, by the evening you get into hell. But that heaven and hell are little reflections of more intense type. That becomes possible after death, led by the karmic process. Everyone doesn't stay in heaven or hell. After death, rebirth. You are born. But in between the death and rebirth, from practical point of view, it may have taken a year, 2 years, may have taken more or less. But the time that soul has experienced in heaven and hell, that time is totally different. So if you read in scriptures, they will describe figuratively that someone stayed in heaven for 1,000 years. And then he was born. All these are relative terms. But what I am leading you here is to understand neither heaven nor hell should be your goal. Your goal should be liberation. 6 spokes of this wheel of the world process has a center, That center is ego. Ego I am. That ego I am, if that illusion continues, you are led by this wheel of the world process. But when that ego undergoes a change, and the change I have explained in 3 stages, I am a slave in God's hands. I am a ray, God is like the sun. Or I am that. This is a progressive fading away of the ego awareness. So while most people have their mind set on simple type of let's do good karma so that we will have wonderful experience, heavenly experience. But if you are guided in a proper way with satsanga and Guru's guidance, then you develop an insight. Let me utilize this life for attaining the spiritual goal of liberation. And therefore, let me develop qualifications for attaining enlightenment. Let me develop viveka, a clear understanding of what is real, what is unreal, what's self, what is not self. Let me develop vairagya. Let my mind not be lured or tempted by what is little, transient. Let my mind pursue asatoma sadgamaya, from untruth to truth, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, from darkness to light, mrityorma amritam gamaya, from death to immortality. Let my mind pursue the goal. Let me develop viveka, discriminative knowledge. Let me develop dispassion towards that which is illusory. And let me develop the different qualities needed for spiritual advancement. Let me develop bhakti, devotion. In brief, let me practice integral yoga. Karma yoga, doing your actions with a special attitude. Those actions begin to purify your heart. The attitude that you add to your action comes from devotion. As devotion develops, your action becomes more qualified, more potent. Your devotion becomes enhanced if you are practicing meditation. And your meditation is supplemented, rather more perfected by spiritual insight, wisdom. So you have to understand the connection between action, devotion, meditation, and rational advancement. That means reflection, allowing your intellect to be purified and to become intuitional. This art is called integral yoga. That's the ideal presented by the Gita. All these 4 must come into your daily life in a very natural way. You may say these 4 require so much to understand. But don't you realize that even to live your daily life, it requires that you should have a head. But how many heads have understood their head? The brain contains enormous mysteries. Then you have to have a heart. How many people have understanding and insight into the functions of your heart? I'm giving you just a physical aspect. Mystical aspect. Heart is the feeling, sentiments. So even though there is immense mystery about the brain, immense mystery about the heart, about everything about your body, and yet your body moves on. Much in the same way, if you practice integral yoga, you live on as easily as you are moving your body. doing good deeds, feeling a form of devotion, glorious heartedness, a Godward flow of feeling, having quiet mind, enjoying meditation, and having a clarity of understanding. When these four begin to blend in your daily life, you become truly a religious person. Until then, you won't practice it. But then again, you should not create a confusion in your mind. How long it will be for me to become a truly a religious person? Your mind should be simply involved in how can I go on practicing it? And ignore the errors. The errors come and go. No matter how many times you slip, that should be a constant focus. Bring in all the four. It's time to exercise the reasoning, reflect. Allow the mind to enjoy and attain meditation. Allow your feelings to blossom, not stay trapped by little things of yours. Blossom by loving God. And allow your actions to become more expert action, skilled action, qualitative activity that will delight your heart as you do it and delight the people around you as a result of what you are doing. Then you are living your life and live on like a river, singing the song, I'm going to meet the ocean. If you have that goal, it's just like you have the whole ocean to go to look for. And how can you be distracted by little pitfalls of water? All the promises of sakamya, movement based on desire, all the promises of ritualistic type of worship, where there is, if you do this, you will get that. If you recite this mantra, you will get prosperity. Recite this mantra, you will get health. Recite this mantra, animosity will move away. I'm just giving you simple ideas to understand. The ritualistic aspect has a kind of a kindergarten role in spiritual movement. It's very important, but don't stay a kid in the kindergarten. Don't be lured by all those promises. You who are going to go after the ocean, you are being tempted. Come, I will give you a cup of water. All the enormous things that the world can give, they are nothing but little cups of water, little pits of water, because they are perishable, no matter how great it is. If you stay happy, even for 60 years without headache and without any problem, of course the world will say, what a great person. Such a person never existed. What a great fortune, what a great blessing. But then where is he? Anything that is transient, no matter how long it has existed, doesn't make that attainment an authentic attainment. 40 now, Gita opens up to 4 verses called Chatush Sutri Yoga. Yoga term here is the practical aspect of your spiritual movement. When we use these 2 words, jnana and yoga, separately, jnana relates to insight gaining by your intellect, theoretical aspect. And yoga relates to practical aspect. I'm just talking about the context. Not always. Wherever these two words come together, the scriptures use these two terms also in the form of jnana and vijnana. Jnana, theoretical knowledge. Vijnana, how to put the theory into practice. The yoga term has been used with that very connotation. How to put that into practice. 4 verses are there for focused on how to put this great insight into practice. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phaleheturbhurma te sangostva karmani. The very famous verse of the Gita. No matter whatever the situation, your right is only to the performance of your duty, not to the fruit thereof. You should not be impelled to act for selfish reasons, nor should you be attached to inaction. Its literal meaning doesn't give you much, but let me explain to you. Karmanyevadhikaraste. Your right is to the performance of your duty. If you don't understand that point, first to understand in a broad way, is any human being free to perform, to take up a project and bring the project to a fruition, a completion of the project? Is it possible in a world where there are many factors controlling your movement? First point, suppose it is possible. Whatever you desire, the project you take, and you accomplish the project and get everything exactly as you expected. Is it desirable? It sounds very comfortable, joyous, but it stops your growth. Start thinking of it when you were at the age of 5, 6, 7, and how you expected. And suppose everything you expected started coming to you. What can the world expect from you? You will remain a child. Things have to happen that go beyond your expectation. And anything moving beyond expectation requires challenge. Your mind has to be shaken. Your nervous system has to face a storm. And you have to discover a divine monkey supporting you. Hanuman. So therefore, first point, the things have to happen the way I have planned. That's not real. Real is, let me perform the best I can, but let the fruit be in the hands of God. Because He is the Father, the Mother. He is the real friend who is helping you to gain that goal. Now let me dramatize now certain points. People are led to performance of action through 3 gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. If you are being led by sattva, sattva tells within you, this project is wonderful. I am going to accomplish it. My good friends Rajas and Tamas will help me. Rajas will bring all the resources. Tamas will fight against any obstacles. We 3 together, Ravana, Kumbhakarna and Vibhishana, and we will attain. Yes. Here I'm talking about sattva that is limited. When you are not enlightened, your sattva is not your best friend. And that's what sattva says. But if rajas develops in your mind, and you have a job to do, your mind goes on asking, do I love this job? And your friend tells you, this job gives you more money than you can get anywhere else. Well, then say, I love it. But if I don't get money, the way you are saying, I'm going to leave it. So even though you have done the job only halfway, you are ready to leave it. If somehow someone tells, this month your salary is going to decrease. In other words, your performance of action is not a joyous involvement. Your involvement is on the basis of expectations. If expectations are fulfilled, I'm going to do it overnight. I will overwork for it. If not, I will overwork to avoid it. If tamas takes hold of your mind, then you approach your job with a negative mind. You ask people, how many people have done this job? You go through the Google search, are they happy? And you find they're not happy. And so why should we do this job? Better to wander in a forest than doing this job. But this type of tamas is a gentle tamas. Most times tamas is horrible type. You become attracted to demoniacs type of people. How can you get quick money? And a thief says, I do it very easily. Come with me and I will train you. But you need to have a lot of concentration, a little meditation. And if you do some mantras, that's good also. But all that you do is to cheat someone, deceive someone, rob someone's money. The tamas doesn't allow you to understand it is something wrong. It rather twists your intellect. You think you are smarter than others. Foxlier than the fox. This is how the gunas and karma relate. The goal is, first, keep your mind focused on sattvic way of doing actions. Allow sattva to develop. That means doing your duty the best way you can do. And while doing it, turn your mind to God. Receive inspiration from God so that you can have better opportunity for better activities of quality. In brief, your sattva is moving away from rajas and tamas. If you have sattva, then you have the chance of allowing the sattva to outstep rajas and tamas. When it outsteps, bravo, you have come into the real yoga, karma yoga. But as long as it has not outstepped rajas and tamas, your sattva is constantly being lured by rajas and tamas, connected with it. then that sattva gives you an ordinary type of goodness. Much evil exists within the heart. So karmanyevadhikaraste. Keeping all this in view, your duty is turn to sattva. While you turn to sattva, enhance your movement by developing devotion to God, by satsanga, in brief, bringing integral yoga. That all this we will explain more later. As you enter on the path of integral yoga, performance of duty is not dependent upon whether you quickly attain the goal or it will take a long time, but rather you enjoy doing your duty and doing it well, doing it with the spirit, with the sense God is working through. And with a confidence and faith, the end result is your victory in the highest sense. You should not be impelled to act for selfish reasons, nor should you be attached to inaction. Attached to inaction has two connotations. From very advanced point of view, inaction means freedom from karma, a state of liberation. The state of liberation is a revelation of the reality. It is not attained through a process of attachment. Anything you gain in the world, there is leaning upon that gain. There is attachment, there is hatred. You need to understand the difference between a karmic fruit, something you promote by karma, by action. Whatever you promote is transient. That's not real. And the other, revelation. Liberation is a revelation, is not a fruit of karma. So therefore your attachment should not be to liberation just like your attachment is to karma. In karmic process, you follow the karma until the result comes. And you are leaning upon the karma and it's a result. Your attachment continues to give you a reward. When you attain liberation, the term is said attain. The real term is you realize. A revelation occurs within you. Think of the difference between the dream and the waking state. In dream state, someone tells you it is a limited world. You should get waking state. Then in your dream state you are asking, where can I get, which way should I go to get the waking state? And how does the waking state look like? I'm dramatizing it. The point is to understand the entire dream must move away. There is nothing of the dream should stay. Awakening is not like moving within the dream world. But anything you want to accomplish in the dream world, you have to accomplish within the dream world. But waking state is not a dream accomplishment. It is changing the mode of consciousness complete. This point has to again and again enter your mind and think over it. Realizing who am I? Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. That realization has not been like building a palace. And you see the palace and now you are jump upon the top of the palace and oh, I made it. If that is liberation, then one little wind will come and blow this whole thing away. But liberation is like clouds move away and the light that was shining in the cloud has come to realize I am the sun. So nothing new is created. Only illusion is removed. So therefore, that mental style of attachment should not be associated with your movement towards liberation. Put it in again in a very simple way. Do not be attached to your sadhana. If you are attached, that you are counting how many years I have taken, I have done karma yoga, and how many years have I done bhakti yoga. And then you are asking how many more I have to do. As if all this you have done is so boring that they have to come to an end. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. O Dhananjaya, be established in yoga. That means this integral yoga I have explained, it should become natural. And perform actions devoid of attachment to the fruit of action. Do not do your actions, as I have explained, through a tamasic mind or through a rajasic mind. Do it through sattva. But sattva that allows you to transcend the rajas tamas and allows itself to be transcended. That point will be brought to you again and again. Then you are established in yoga. If you are established, be balanced in success and failure. What you see day by day, you are not shaken. Things may not be according to expectation. One day you find day is cloudy. Another day full of sunshine. One day things happen according to your liking. Another day they don't. But your movement, your enjoyment of life, that doesn't diminish. Just like you experience day, the day declines. Face the night. Night and day both have equal impact on you. If you had only night after night, then you choose to be in the North Pole. What I'm leading you to understand is joyous to find yourself facing challenging situations, of situations that is pleasant, situation that's painful, challenging situation. And through the challenging situation, a deep insight that all these situations are helping you to transcend them. Your goal is neither the pleasant type nor the painful type. Your goal is to stay poised, samatvam, no matter how things are. If you are really proud of how you are, ask yourself, to what degree do I have that samatvam, tranquility? That is your real attainment. Not how much shaken am I by pleasure or by pain. The majority of the people, how much were shaken? Are you happy? Implying how much inclined you are. 30 degrees this way or 60 degrees that way. And with this I'm going to conclude. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.